Thank you for tuning in. This presentation is about wire bonding in Altium Designer, features and capabilities. My name is Samir Aldhaher, and I'll be talking to you about uh, the new features that have been introduced in Altium Designer for wire bonding. In this presentation, first of all, we'll be giving a brief introduction about wire bonding, its history. We'll give some examples about where it's used and some of the recent applications of it. A brief discussion about manufacturing and perhaps costs associated. And then we'll give a live demo showing you how to use the new wire bonding feature in Altium Designer. What is wire bonding? Wire bonding is the process of making connections between semiconductor die and the rest of the outside circuitry and the outside world where the circuit connects to. It's one of the earliest methods of connecting semiconductor die. In fact, it was probably first being used since the first transistor was ever made. And nowadays it accounts for more than 75 to 80% of all chips and integrated circuits. All of them use wire bonding inside, and you can see some of the images on the right here, which shows inside a typical QFN or a quad flap package. You can see how the semiconductor die is in the center, and the wire bonding, the wire bonds connect from the die pads to the lead frame of the package. We'll be discussing more about the materials and how all of this process is achieved. You place a semiconductor die directly on the PCB without using the package. As you can see in some of the images on the right here, and you might have seen these sort of black blobs, they're called, or glob tops in some of the circuit boards, such as very old calculators and multimeters. Now, why would you want to use wire bonding in these sort of applications? Well, one reason is actually cost. If you manufacture these circuit boards in the millions and tens of millions, it actually is cheaper to use the semiconductor die itself without the outer package. So that's one reason to use wire bonding here. Another reason is in some applications that you have they're limited in available space and area you have. So a good example in this image here, you can see how the die is very small compared to what would be how the package footprint would be. So that means you can pack in more dies and increase the number of components that you have within a certain area. And I'll give more examples on how this is used nowadays. Um, Here's some interesting videos I found. Wire bonding is actually done, the manufacturing wire bonding. You can see how the wire bonding feeder comes in and places these wire bonds direct from the die to the pad. Of course, this is slowed down video. It's very, very fast. So wire bonding is not just between the semiconductor die and pad, but you can do it from between any pieces of copper on the PCB, as you can see in this example. Now, with the process with wire bonding, as I mentioned at the beginning, yes, it can be cheaper when you produce them in the tens of millions. But in the sort of low quantities, there are a few factors that you need to be aware of if you want to use wire bonding. Mainly, it's the wire bonding material. You got gold, silver, and copper. Obviously, gold is more expensive material, so that adds to the cost. The dimensions of the wire bond itself, very thin wire, and that could be more harder to accomplish. If you have a lot of them in with fine pitches, that can be also can affect the cost as well. Also, the die itself, the semiconductor die, the thickness and the materials go into it would also impact the cost. Wire bonding, also the PCB specifications, also such as the surface finish of the copper, as you can see here. Probably you want to use gold finish on your PCB, and that could add to the cost as well. And of course, wire bonding could be done on a manual process or an automated process. And you can imagine if it's a manual with someone controlling the machine, that obviously will be more expensive than a fully automated process. Now, as technology has evolved and electronics have evolved, so has wire bonding itself. And here I'll talk about some examples how wire bonding has evolved and it's been used nowadays in other applications. So let's start with maybe with power electronics. As you can see, today, power electronics play a key role in many applications, such as in EVs and chargers. Pretty much every tool, every device now has power electronics in it that can drive components and drive very high currents. And so here, an example of wire bonding, you can see you have to place many wire bonds per die pad, and even you might have to place several wire bond contacts as well. And in these applications, you use copper material for these power modules. So that's one application. Another area where wire bonding is used is in sensors and LEDs. And as I mentioned, with sensors, you have limited space and constraints there, and so that's where wire bonding is used. And in lighting and LEDs, wire bonding allows you to pack in more LEDs per surface area. So this is a good example here. If you use just discrete components, then you can pack a few of them in a certain area. If you use surface mount, then you can pack more. Now, if you use chip and board down to the die level, you can pack a lot more in there and you get much brighter LEDs. One other example, a very interesting example here is in stacked die and vertical integration. Now there's more demand for increased processing power and increased more memory per surface area. And this is where a very interesting application emerges here, where you actually stack multiple dies on top of each other, and basically to increase your computing power and memory. And then, of course, you need to then connect these dies to the outside world, and that's where you use wire bonding for this. So here's some few X-ray images of stacked die. You can see you've got here an ASIC on the side. You've got a MEMS device and a capacitor on the other side, and how wire bonding is used to connect between all of those components. And so you can have it in different integration, either lateral integration or stacked integration. And so that's where wire bonding is used in these modern designs. Now I'll switch over and take you through Altium Designer and just give you a quick demo on how you can use it in Altium Designer. So let's see if this works. Can I just check if my screen is showing Altium Designer now? Okay, great. So I've prepared a few demos here in Altium Designer. The wire bonding feature has been recently introduced in Altium in the latest versions of Altium. Now, with wire bonding, you need to first tell Altium that you are in fact using wire bonding and dies. And to do that, you have to first of all go to your view configuration panel and just add the mechanical, the component layers for dies and the wire bonding too. So once you've done that, then you can start drawing your dies and wire bonds. You have a few options to do this. You can either create a library of die. So what I've done here is that I've created this die footprint. It contains the die body and the die pads. And so then when you go into your PCB design, you can just simply drag and drop your die into your project, like so. Just and then to create the wire bonds, you need to create the finger pads where the wire bonds will connect to. So these could be either from your library, you can simply draw them. And to draw wire bonds, just hit place, and then now you have a new option called bond wire. And you just simply select the die pad and then click on the finger pad or the landing pad. and Altium will snap to it. And then if you view it in 3D mode, there we go. We have now our wire bond. And of course, you can change the specifications of this wire bond, its properties. So you can adjust its diameter. So I can make it thicker, perhaps. That's perhaps too thick. I can lower it down. I can also increase the loop height of it as well. So all of these specifications, you can control it within Altium. And then you can just place more of those wire bonds as you go. It's actually a lot of fun to do, like so. And of course, you can copy them and paste them and make any changes to them, as you can see here. Now, one of the interesting features with Altium is that sometimes, well, in general in wire bonding, you would want to make the pad to be aligned with the direction of the wire bond, and this is perhaps important for manufacturing. Is to have the pads aligned to the wire bond. You can do it manually, but this take a long time, or you can tell Altium to do it for you. So to do that, you simply select all of them and then just right click, and then you can go to Pad Actions, Align Bond Finger with Bond Wire. And you can see Altium has aligned those pads to the wire bond. So that's a quick example of how to use to connect dies pads to finger pads. Also, what you could do is, as I mentioned, one of the examples in power electronics, where you need to connect multiple wire bonds to the same pad. So, for example, this is a large silicon carbide die, and I want to connect it to this copper area here. Again, very simple. You can either go to place wire bond, like so, or you can simply select all the other wire bonds and just copy them and paste them here. Like so. And there we go. We have our wire bonds from multiple wire bonds per die pad to a copper area. And also you could connect wire bonds between dies as well. So this is one other example where you would connect um, uh, from one die to another. This is also in power electronics and also in RF applications. For example, here you have a radio frequency chip, and this is a surface mount or a semiconductor chip a capacitor, and you can create those connections here. One thing also I didn't mention is you can change the bond type as well from ball to wedge, and the choice of which type of bond to use depends on the material and the pitch. Generally, if you're using gold, we'd want to the process requires it to be a ball type connection. And a bit more advanced example here is 3D stacked die. And as you can see this, we've got a large number of pads, a large number of die pads, and we have two stacked die here. So how would you do this? There's a few steps to do it, but I'll just give a brief overview on how to do this. First of all is you'll notice that we do have a cavity, or we have multiple cavities in the design. And this was, you can achieve this by going to your layer stack up, and you can define individual stack ups for each cavity. And you need to be in the rigid flex advanced option to allow you to create these individual stack ups. And then you can create these individual cavities. And then simply you can just draw your dies, bodies. For example, I've got one body here. I've got one body here as well. So you can move them around. So there it was. I can bring it back here. That was my second die. And also you can place pads, more pads if you need to. You can either go to copy this one, place it here, place it here. I've got more pads. And so that's how you would go about to create a 3D stacked die in cavity in Altium Designer. So those were a few quick demos that I prepared. And if we go back to our presentation, so that was a short introduction, let's say, to wire bonding, and just to go over the features of wire bonding in Altium Designer. I hope you found this interesting. And tomorrow there is a webinar for Altium Designer 25 and how to use the new features in Altium 25 for collaboration and concurrent designs. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you found this useful.